I want to talk about how do you actually start using ChatGPT or any AI within your business to get results? Because everybody can talk to you about all the hype about it, but how do you actually start to get results from it in your business? Well, for me, the very first thing to do is don't try to use it in your business, first of all. I can show you, 2-minute demos that'll blow your mind on how it works. But really, it's a lot. I think the first step is about just getting a bit comfortable with the technology yourself and seeing how it works and what it can do for you. One of the best ways of doing that is just to open up an account with ChatGPT. I'm going to use 4 for this one because I just use 4 routinely, but you can use 3.5, which is it's free. Just make an account, go to it, and then think of something that you're about to do or something that you've done. So earlier this week, I used chat to write a slightly awkward message that I needed to write. My car was parked out on the road, and somebody's car, they parked their car up on a driveway that was on a slope. They got out. They either didn't put the handbrake on or the handbrake failed, and it rolled back into the side of my car, damaged a couple of doors. And they came to me and said, "Hey, can we do this outside of insurance because they didn't want their insurance premiums to go up?" And I sort of instinctively just said yes because I didn't think of it. And then my wife kind of says to me, "You sure you want to do that?" And because your insurance says any damage you've got to notify us about. Okay, so how do I go back to this guy? He's a great guy. How do I go back to him and say, yeah, about that? And so I asked Chat how to do that, and it came up with a really lovely message. It was very confident, very strong, but put it across in a really nice way. And it just allowed me to open up the conversation with him in a really, really easy way. And Chat can just solve problems for you because you're no longer staring at a blank sheet of paper. So what I want to show you here is another way. I don't know the results because I've not put this in yet. But it struck me that I'm doing something slightly special tomorrow. I'm taking family and my folks, my sister, onto the Flying Scotsman. I don't know if you know what the Flying Scotsman is. Here's a picture of it. It's this big, beautiful old train, steam train that is 100 years old this year. So it's going around the whole of the country. So it's big and old. I think my folks will love it. I think my kids will love it. I think I'll love it. I think it's just going to be a great old adventure to actually go on and be pulled along by it. So, all right, that's not exactly a problem. This is a great thing. So, how can I use chat to start to make things a little bit better, a little bit easier? So, I would put in something like, I'm going on the Flying Scotsman tomorrow in the observation car. Sorry, I probably should have put this in before. So I'm just saying, hey, this is what we're doing. What are some tips so we, the family, have a great experience? And let's see what it comes up with. So if you put this into 3.5, you'll find it goes woof, and all the information will be up there immediately. 4 likes to think about things for a little bit longer. So arrive early, sounds good. Dress appropriately, bring binoculars and a camera. Okay, these are sort of fairly standard things. Say seated, ear protection. So nothing vastly interesting here as yet. Refreshments, engage with the staff are knowledgeable. Okay, so this is actually a really beautiful example. One of the things that we maintain about AI is that it's going to make people more human and allow people to be more human and be what makes them uniquely human. And also that AI is going to have the greatest impact on people who are mid and late career. Somebody who is mid or late career, if this was business related, they will look through here and they go, okay, yeah, that one's obvious, 2's obvious, 3's obvious, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 perhaps is slightly obvious. 10 is obvious, respect others and historical context, enjoy the experience. These are all fairly obvious things, perhaps. But I really liked where it's got engaged with staff. The staff on board the Flying Scotsman are knowledgeable about the train's history and its route. Don't hesitate to ask questions or strike up a conversation. So somebody, if this was from a business context, we'd asked it a business question. Somebody in early stage career, I don't know whether they would always have the experience to look through this and to find something that was what's the goal? Need to apply that human thinking to everything we're doing here. So the people who are mid and late career who really embrace AI, I think it's going to be truly transformative for them. For our experience of those people, you go through the stage of grief. You will. I don't know what the stage of grief are. I should ask Chat. But there is that disbelief that this is happening, and this is the end of the world, and all the way through to kind of some sort of acceptance, where wow, that was awful, but actually now I see a whole new world of opportunity. Um, so I think people who are early stage will look at this sort of thing, and okay, if I show my kids, for example, bring binoculars or bring camera, oh, that's a good idea, and they hadn't thought of it. Later stage, perhaps these are a little bit too obvious. But engage with staff. I like this a lot. So let's just delve into that a little bit further. And this is where it starts. If you're applying in a business context, it's really helpful. Give me some interesting questions I could ask the staff on the train. So I can ask about the history, how to get its name. It's a nice question. Actually, I hadn't thought of that. Can you share any unique stories or events associated with the locomotive history? So now, if there's somebody on a member of staff, that's a lovely question, and it's very personal to them. So, okay, now I haven't looked through the other experience. So now I see, like staff experience. How long? What's your most memorable experience? So this is what I mean. It can make you more human or allow you to be more human. So chances are I would have gone on the train tomorrow and I would have had a great time. But now I'm starting to think, okay, I should really actively look out for people who are um, on the train. And if I start to ask them, what's your most memorable experience while you've been working on this train? That's a beautiful question. The person that I ask that to, we are going to have a really quite a deep experience because they're going to be sharing something that matters to them. Or I can say to my kids, hey, what about if you ask some of the people these questions? This is why I think AI, when you use it appropriately, it can really transform your experience. You don't start from a blank sheet. It does all this thinking for you and it allows you to apply what makes you uniquely human to the event. So now I've got a whole lot of questions I can ask. I know if I ask the person I asked that question, they're going to have a great time because they're going to be able to speak about something that really brings them joy. And I'm sure I could go in and I have technical aspects, what type of coal was used and why. If I speak to an engineer on the train tomorrow, they're going to think I'm fairly switched on to even know to ask that question. They're going to have a really interesting conversation. Interestingly enough, I did some blacksmithing a little while back, and they were talking about the virtues of Welsh coal and from a particular mine in coal and how it's changed over the years, how it's gone up. They could speak so much about this one particular type of coal. I'm really going to want to ask that question tomorrow, the engineer, and see what they say because again, it's about I'm now going to be able to engage with these people on something that absolutely brings them joy. This is how I would so recommend you use chat. And if you want to jump on a call with me and I can show you and give you your own instance of chat GPT-4 and I can show you how you can actually do this for yourself. I'm happy to talk anybody through it because I love it and the things that it opens up and the ways of working. So I promise I wouldn't try to sell you anything. I just want people to experience how they can actually use this. So once you experience it in your personal life, it's a second's thought to wow, in work I could do this as well, couldn't I? And absolutely, it can change everything. You're going to become so much more productive. And I think the thing for me is that cognitive load where you've got to write an agenda for a meeting, just simple things like that. Somebody was talking to me about earlier. It's a real thing. You got to sit down. You got to write an agenda. Hey, chat, got to write an agenda for this. These are the people. This is what we need to cover bang, you're going to get something that no longer a blank sheet, and you can start to think about it. You have a conversation with somebody else. What else do they see? That's how I believe people should be using chat to ultimately allow you to be more human. Hope that was useful. If you'd like me to jump on a call with you and just show you around so you've got a little bit of experience with this and give you a couple of prompts that just help you to get off the ground and start using it, then leave a message in the comment. I'd love to do that. Anyway, take